Good afternoon. It's News Hour here at Younib TV. I'm Eunice Mutua, bringing you the latest headlines making news this Tuesday. From breaking developments across the East Africa region, where Kenyan activists, including former Chief Justice Willy Mutunga, were deported back to Kenya from Tanzania, and to the response given by Samia Suluhu regarding that, also lined up is what unfolded in the judicial corridors. Now let's begin Younib TV News at 1 with our top stories.
Information that President Ruto has directed that my private security personnel be disarmed and be targeted for withdrawal of their licenses.
We got there at 2:30 a.m. and that's when we were detained. So from 2:30 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Nikaangalia game park, nikaona mtu anakimbizwa kutoka game park. Akakuja akaruka huku nje. Ukakaa kidogo, maofisa pia wameruka.
Tumeanza kuona mtiririko au mwenendo wa wanaharakati ndani ya region yetu hii kuanza kuvamia na kuingilia mambo yetu.
Sasa venye moto ilitokezea, kuna nyumba iko hapa inakuanga nyumba ya mabati lakini ni gorofa chini na ikacho.
We apologize for that technical issue. Well, let's now begin. Rigathi Gachagua, the former deputy president, has charged that President Ruto's administration is planning assassination attempts against him. In a scathing statement issued at the DCP headquarters, Gachagua said that hired goons had been deployed to interrupt events he attends and that Ruto should be held responsible if he or his family suffer any harm.
We have credible information that President Ruto has directed that my private security personnel be disarmed and be targeted for withdrawal of their licenses so that they can leave me vulnerable to allow room for goons to attack and possibly eliminate me. President William Ruto has expressed ungovernable anger that the state-sponsored goons are being overpowered by my private security personnel who are licensed gun holders. President William Ruto had ordered that I be dealt with once and for all. And since the goons sponsored by the state on several occasions had failed, police and other state security agencies had to come in. The killer squad was joined by their counterparts who are highly trained in the use of biological weapons. Their instructions were to poison me through inhaled chemicals that would paralyze my brain within 3 months. This was the intent and the purpose of the whole operation. So it is useless to go and report to the police. That is why I'm talking to the people of Kenya, so that if anything happens to me, President William Ruto must be held accountable. About my statement on post-election violence, this was a precautionary statement and not incitement. It is based on historical facts and past electoral experiences of 1992, 1997 and 2007 controversial elections, that we must have a free and fair election in 2027. It is my civic duty as a leader to remind IEBC, all agencies and institutions charged with election management, that they must deliver free, fair, verifiable and credible election. I've heard the CS Interior and other pretenders to the throne claim that they will not allow political violence. I urge them to walk the talk. Since November 2024, political violence of great magnitude has been meted on me, my family, and my supporters. Not a single case has been prosecuted. Let it be known that our party, DCP, has organic support, and we do not pay supporters to attend our meetings the way the government is doing to people to attend their meetings. Finally, let me assure the planners of this violence that you will not stop the cause of the people of Kenya. The one-term movement and the DCP party popularity will not be stopped and will not be slowed down.
3 other Kenyans, including former Chief Justice Willy Mutunga, were deported back to Kenya after being refused entry and held at the Julius Nyerere International Airport in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. The 3 who are in Tanzania to witness the hearing of Tanzanian opposition leader Tundu Lissu's treason trial have stated that they will sue the Tanzanian government for violating the Jumuiya Agreement, which permits unrestricted travel among East Africans.
We got there at 2:30 a.m. and that's when we were detained. From 2:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. We were not told why we were detained. Walikuwa wanasema kuna changamoto. It's like we are in a cell because we couldn't move out. They took our passports.
Hapa Afrika Mashariki tunapiga hatua nyingi kurudi nyuma sisi katika masuala ya demokrasia na haki za binadamu.
Why would a whole state have a list or mark activists coming into the country to stop us from attending Tundu Lissu's case? So I'm asking what Samia is scared of.
I said we'll seek legal advice, isn't it? And I think this trend now that we see in East Africa, these dictators, is a very dangerous trend.
Samia Suluhu Hassan, the president of Tanzania, has warned foreign activists against trying to meddle in Tanzanian internal issues. Such persons will not be permitted to enter the nation, she said. President Suluhu stated that the launch of Tanzanian new foreign policy, that the nation is still the only one in the region that has not been infiltrated by activists who, she says, cause chaos everywhere.
Tumeanza kuona mtiririko au mwenendo wa wanaharakati ndani ya region yetu hii kuanza kuvamia na kuingilia mambo yetu huku. Sasa kama kwao wameshadhibitiwa, wasije kutuharibia huku. Tusitoe nafasi. Walishaharibu kwao, walishavuruga kwao. Nchi iliyobaki haijaharibika. Watu wako na usalama na amani na utulivu ni hapa kwetu. Kuna majaribio kadhaa. Niwaombe sana vyombo vya ulinzi na usalama na nyinyi wasimamizi wa sera zetu nje kutoa nafasi kwa watovu wa adabu wa nchi nyingine kuja kutovuka hapa kwetu. Hapana. Nimeona klipu kadhaa za kunisema niko bias na nini. Nalofanya ni kulinda nchi yangu na ndio wajibu niliopewa. Kwa hiyo hatutatoa nafasi kwa kiumbe yoyote kuja kutuvurugia hapa. Awe yupo ndani au anatoka nje. Hatutatoa hiyo nafasi.
Mumias East Member of Parliament Peter Salasia was released on a 200,000 Kenya shillings bail after being arraigned at the Milimani Law Courts. Following his arrest last Friday, the lawmaker was detained by the police for 3 days. Prosecutors accuse him of uttering divisive statements that might spark public uproar and charging him with hate speech. His legal team argued for his release on bond, citing Salasia's cooperation with investigators and his position as a public worker. The request was approved by the court and 200,000 Kenya shillings was given as bail pending more proceedings.
The accused has never been summoned by the National Integration and Cohesion Commission, as is always the norm.
Violation of accused rights in the course of arrests, as well as another application to have arms assigned to the accused security details returned.
We want to call upon the state, led by the head of state, to stop using agencies that are independent to fight against constructive criticism. They should face Salasia as a man, and if they have an issue with him, they can square it out on a national debate. But using the police to abduct people, young leaders, people who have shown interest in the liberation of their country is uncalled for.
They should just give us the space for this country, for the young people, so that we can see, because we are in another era whereby they cannot understand the dispensation, the generational change that we are talking about. Even if we give them 10 years from now, we give them 20 years from now, they cannot understand the concept of generational change. So
the people who are harassing us and who do not want to see the new leadership, just to give us a space and just see what we will do when they put us into office.
We are going for a short break and we'll be back with more. Don't go far. Welcome back. The hearing into the disappearance of Brian Odhiambo began yesterday in Nakuru. 4 witnesses, among them the mother of missing fisherman Brian Odhiambo, described how prior to his disappearance on January 18th, Odhiambo was last seen with Kenya Wildlife Service agents. 6 KWS personnel are in the dock as the abduction case formally began yesterday at the Nakuru law courts.
Nilikuwa nafua nje hapo nje hapo ploti hapo nje. Nafuaga nje nikiangalia customers wakitaka kununua na ingia na uausia. Nikaangalia game park nikaona mtu anakimbizwa kutoka game park. Akakuja akaruka huku nje. Ukakaa kidogo maofisa pia wameruka fence. Wanamfuata huku nje.
Taratibu unasema uliona mtu anafukuzwa.
Anakimbizwa na game rangers, anakimbizwa. Brian Odhiambo ndiye alikuwa anakimbizwa.
Uliweza kuona ni gani?
Niliona si alipita tu karibu na mimi hivi.
Nikigonga stand sharp. Alex akakuja mbio. Carlos, harakisha kimbia, brother yako ameshikwa na magemu. Wanaenda na yeye. Nikaenda nikiwaitanga. Afande kuja tuongee. Afande kuja tuongee. Mwachilieni tu huyo kuja tuongee afande. But hakuna hata mmoja mwenye alikuwa anaangalia nyuma.
Nikarudi bondeni sasa inaelekea 6. Hakuna police station amepelekwa, nikarudi bondeni police station inaelekea 6 baada ya kujampata chini hapo. Kurudi nilipata kuna watu wa samaki wameletwa lakini Brian hayuko katikati yao. Nikaanza kushikwa na uoga. Kwani wamempeleka wapi?
Huyo ofisa wa kiume venye alikuja nikamuuliza kuhusu Brian Odhiambo. Alichonielezea ni wana gereza huko ndani. Kisha akanieleza kama bahati mbaya walimweka kwa maji atafloat within 48 hours.
The requested car track and speed governance and any other data or document requested by the investigating officer, and for this case respecting motor vehicle KCK 869U and KAL 131U.
May justice prevail. 2 churches and homes in Mathare were destroyed by fire on Monday morning, leaving 5 people dead and 4 injured. It is reported that at around 12 a.m. on Monday, the fire started, burning property and displacing a number of individuals as it moved throughout the neighborhood. The injured were sent to a neighboring hospital for medical attention.
Sasa venye moto ilitokezea kuna nyumba iko hapa inakuanga nyumba ya mabati lakini ni gorofa. Sasa moto ilianza na chini na ikachoma stairs. Sasa venye ilichoma stairs, sasa wale wa juu kuona moto imetoka na moto imeanzia chini, kuangalia wakapata stairs ishachomeka. Hakuna venye watatoka. Sasa kuna wanaume wawili wenye walijihami na wakajirusha chini. Sasa tunaomba tu serikali kama inaweza tusaidia.
Kwa kitu saa 6 mimi nilikuwa nalala na ndio sasa vile nimeamuka nimesikia tu jirani yangu akisema moto. Hakuna stairs already imeshachomeka.
South Africa won their first AFCON Under-20 trophy and the first men's title since Bafana won AFCON at home in 1996, defeating pre-tournament favourites Morocco by a single goal at the 30th June Stadium in Cairo. Both teams returned with the goal of winning the match in the second half after a goalless draw in the first half. Gomolemo Kekana's right-footed screamer from the box edge in the 70th minute was the game-winning goal that separated the two teams.
Yeah, much as we told the boys to say, it's not going to be an easy game. They also saw it themselves. But we always stick to what we can do best and making sure that we don't concede.
It means a lot to not only me but for the team. This award is for the team. I mean, with only me and without them, we would be nowhere. Together we're stronger.
The game, when we win the game, is difficult, and when we lose, it's impossible.
That wraps up our 1 p.m. update right here on Younib TV. Thanks for making this bulletin part of your afternoon. I am Eunice Mutua, and we'll be back with more stories and developments that matter to you. And of course, not forgetting to appreciate the team here in studio who have made Younib TV News at 1 a success. Until then, keep it Younib TV, stay safe and take care. Good afternoon.